How's it going? It's Zap, and I just wanted to follow up with a question that was asked about if you are supposed to be sexually pure as a single person and you want to get to know someone. How do you build romance? How does romance even begin if you're supposed to be treating people that you're not married to as your brother or sister? And this is in response to a video that I sent out by Pastor David Platt, and the video is called How Far is Too Far? It's just a short little clip from a sermon that he gave. So I want to address the romance and how do you build romance as a single person question, which is a great question. So the first thing I thought of when I heard that question is I thought about what is romance? And I think you can be romantic without being sexual. I think in today's society, we tend to merge sexuality and romance into the same sentence. In other words, you can't be romantic without kissing, or without making out, or without doing something sexual with someone. And I just think that you can be very romantic without doing that. The second thing is, I think you can grow in a relationship with someone and love someone, and even have just a great deep love for someone without being sexual, or and even maybe without being romantic. And I just think about my brothers and sisters, because David Platt kind of likened the relationship you can have with someone who is not your spouse to one with your brother or sister. And I have a sister. I have a little sister who's 15 years younger than me, and I think she's beautiful. And I watched her since she was a newborn, and I've changed her stinky diaper, and I've warmed up her bottle and put her in a car seat, and watched her grow up, watched her go to elementary, junior high, high school, college, and she's in her 20s now, and she's a beautiful young lady. And I love her with all my heart, and I think we have a great close relationship. And I think all of that happened, and she's still my sister. So I would challenge you, if you're single, that you can grow in relationship with someone and get to love them and grow to love them, even if you're not physical with them or sexual with them. And the good news is you can still be romantic. And I want to give a couple examples in the Bible where there's people who are courting each other. They're in this premarital stage, dating or even interested, and there's nothing sexual happening. And the first one is, well, even Adam and Eve, they met each other. Now, Adam had the advantage that basically as soon as he met his wife, he got to marry her. So that's kind of cheating. But if you fast forward to Jacob and Rachel in Genesis 29, Jacob sees Rachel, thinks she's beautiful. As a matter of fact, in Genesis 29, she's described as having a lovely figure and being beautiful. So you could imagine what that looks like, men. And he actually gives her a kiss and cries, weeps, is what the word says in the Bible. Introduces himself to her father and meets him, and basically says, hey, I love your daughter. I want to marry her. And her father says, okay, work for me for 7 years and you can marry her. And he says, okay. And he worked for 7 years, and the Bible describes it that they only seem like days because of his love for her. So he obviously had a great love for Rachel and wanted to marry her, but had no sex with her, didn't do anything sexual with her because he's living with her dad. Um, and that happens. And another example in the Bible is Ruth and Boaz. A lot of romance there. Again, Ruth sees Boaz, Boaz sees Ruth. There's some mutual interest there. Matter of fact, in Ruth chapter 2, I'm reading it here, verse 14, Boaz invites Ruth over for some bread and wine. So they even have a little, wine date. Ruth's mother-in-law, because she's a widow, uh, Ruth's mother-in-law encourages Ruth to get dressed up, put on some smell good, and basically impress Boaz. So there's a lot of romance happening here. There's a lot of courting, a lot of flirting happening, but there's nothing sexual. So I just wanted to emphasize that you can flirt, you can court, you can develop a relationship with someone, and it doesn't have to be something sexual. Because again, God designed sex for people who are married. And once you're married, enjoy the fruits of sex all day long and all night long. So hopefully that answers the question. Feel free to send me more questions if you have any. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.